The greatest leadership lessons I learned in the Army, they came from several people, actually. I had a great first sergeant. I was in a helicopter platoon, so to speak. We flew helicopters. And so we were all a very tightly knit group because when we flew in a helicopter, you had to make sure that you were all in sync as far as the maintenance on the helicopter, flying and making sure that everything was clear. That I was a guy who kind of led and made sure that the helicopter was maintained and in perfect condition to fly. So my influence, I always had a respect for life first and foremost because we were flying a helicopter. But my models and my role models in the Army were Colin Powell was a great influence on my life. He was a general at the time in the Army. He was someone who really influenced me in being the best that I could be, so to speak, when I was in the military. But the Army structure gave me a discipline, and it taught me, not that I didn't have a respect for leadership, but it taught me to really appreciate the different levels of leadership, the different roles of leadership, and how effective and how ineffective you could be with the right or the wrong leader in place. But I would say the most effective, I would say the person who really stood out most in my mind, I had a top or first sergeant who was about maybe 5'6", a little thin, wiry man, but he could outrun everybody, he could beat everybody in everything he did, but he had a really, really compassionate heart. And he would call me son all the time. He said, son, you're going this way, you're going that way. I've been watching you, son, you don't need to do that, son. And but he really, he put his arms around me in a really sentimental way because I traveled quite a bit. And he really took an interest in me as a non-commissioned officer. And he showed me, even if he wasn't an officer, that he had my level of respect and he could influence others in such a positive way because it was coming from his heart.